Okay, there you go. Our pair of LVLs is in place. It actually went almost all the way and became a little snug. Not only have you got a slightly large gap throughout, you're also talking about a very thick and rigid beam being straight or whatever shape it is, and hoping that lining all these gaps up, even though they're a little loose, this shape in the shape that it is, or this width in the shape that it is, hoping that it'll fit in there and this gap doesn't wander back and forth a little bit as you go. That's another thing that can create an issue. So I'm happy with how much room I gave myself. It became a little snug. I was able to stand on the ladder with my hard hat on and just stand up using the strength of my legs to push and snug it in. And then ye old hardwood 4x4 made a good hammer to just sort of smash this end, smash that end. I swung the blocks in place like I had planned, and I've also got one screwed across. So I haven't got a lot of worries about it coming down on my head. At this point, we can get our lengths now for the pair of 2x4s and a rip of plywood that stands underneath this end. We can get our lengths over here. I'm going to attempt to make them the same. I don't want to go doing a bunch of custom fitting. All of the studs in every story of a new home or any home when it's new should have been made the same height. So the top of your wall is coplanar. There's no reason for this length to the floor and this length to be much different from one another at all. So I won't tolerate a lot of difference there because it just shouldn't be that way. And if it's way off, I will end up making adjustments to suit it. I don't want to build weird parallelogram shaped walls in a building that should have been square. So if it has plumb level square problems, I'm going to leave gaps so that in the future, if somebody wants to use a jack in the basement or anything, it will come around to plumb level square again without having to squeeze an extraordinarily too long piece of timber or having something too short in here. So we're going to do our best. This is a relatively new home, and it's small, and it's plumb level square like to the max. So that's more of a theory and a best practices idea than it is real life in this project. There you go. So now it's a matter of putting a bucket or a joist hanger on the end of every one of these joists, sliding it up tight, attaching it to the beam, and attaching it to the joist as well from one end to the other. And with the timber underneath the ends, we can let the support wall go on both sides, and we should be in business. And we'll do the same thing on the other end, on the other side of the ductwork, and remove the rest of that temp wall, and then we'll be sitting pretty here, and it'll be ready for talk of finishing.